Norvell and his Florida State football team. They're ready to get across the pond and get to Dublin, Ireland for the Aer Lingus College Football Classic, taking on Georgia Tech. And we are, again, really looking forward to what his football team has in store as they've been preparing now for right around a month, getting ready for this upcoming 2024 lid lifter. Welcome to Inside Seminole Football. Live, new location. We're here at Bowden's in College Town. How about this crowd, everybody? Here we go. And as we do, we're stealing Coach's line. I need everybody's help here in Bowden's to welcome the ACC Coach of the Year, Bear Bryant National Coach of the Year, and Dodd Trophy recipient. Give me a good morning to Coach Norvell on three. 1, 2, 3.
Good morning, everybody.
There we go. All right.
The season is here.
Oh, my goodness.
The season is here.
How about this? How you feeling? You feeling good?
Yeah, I'm excited. I really am. And, you all the work that's gone in since January, obviously when you jump into the winter program, you're bringing the team together and guys with new opportunities, new roles. You've seen guys grow and mature throughout the course of the offseason workouts. Had a great spring practice. I was really proud of our guys for their approach to the summer work and fall camp. And now you get to game week, and obviously being able to kick off all of college football, playing week 0, doing it in an international contest, over in Dublin, Ireland. I mean, it's really going to be a tremendous stage, and just proud of our players for the work they put in, but really excited to watch them go take the field on Saturday, and you continue to push to be better than what we've been.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a great show for you in our first edition of Inside Seminole Football, live from Bowden's in College Town. Coming up a little bit later on, we'll see Darius Washington here with us, All-American offensive lineman out of Pensacola. Can't wait for that. And defensive coordinator Adam Fuller joins us at the end of the show. How great was that Florida State football defense all last year, especially at the end of the season? Coach, want to talk about the venue, our new location here for the show this season. Feels like a match made in Knoll heaven here at Bowden's in College Town. Certainly iconic head coach Bobby Bowden, near and dear to everyone's hearts, so dear to your heart as well. I know that. Great memorabilia from some of the amazing moments in Florida State football history, and I know that's something you take very seriously yourself.
Absolutely. I mean, what an incredible place, and obviously venue for this show, and definitely grateful for everybody at Bowden's for welcoming us, and just tremendous atmosphere that we have. But we're definitely excited, and when I think of Coach Bowden and just the responsibility I have, being in this position, this role. I mean, it's something that every day, I've got a standard that I've got to push to, and he was just such an icon for coaches in general. I mean, no matter where, just his approach, how he did it, on a daily basis. He did so many incredible things here for Florida State University, but also, just for the game of football as a whole. And so, it's a tremendous honor, and I walk by his statue every morning, and just know that this is it's definitely a great opportunity, and I'm humbled and honored for that opportunity.
Yep, his teams were teams that embraced the work. You were asked during your press conference yesterday, what's the identity of this team you've gathered in 2024 early to this point? And it's similar. It's a team that's embraced that work and that grind, you said.
Absolutely. And, from January till now, I mean, no matter what we put in front of them, I mean, these guys, they're not a group that complains. They put their heads down, they go, and they try to attack whatever is in front of them. And, that's one of the reasons I'm so, proud of them for what they've done, because we've got to this point, and, they've answered the call and all the steps along the way, and now we get to go put it on display on, for one of the 12 guaranteed opportunities that we have. And that's what makes football special, is that they're so limited, times and games that you get to play, that you got to make the most of all of them. And it's 365 days a year of putting yourself in position to go be better than what you've been. And that is the expectation. That is the standard within our program, is to go get better, being the best we can be. And, I'm really proud of these players and very confident in what they're going to put on display.
Well, let's talk about some of these guys as we start off our first segment of our first show with our truest hero of the game, and a guy that many people are excited about and talking about and looking forward to watching new quarterback DJ Uiagalelei, who is here at Florida State. And I know he's someone that, as you guys have worked together since he arrived on campus, he's grasped it. He's got the understanding of the offense. Physically, he's very, very impressive. And he's taken up that leadership role, being here in a short amount of time as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's really, the total package. And, for the young man that I thought was coming into the program, the talent, the ability, all the experiences that he's had, the good and, some of the challenges. I mean, for everything that he's gone through and what he's brought to our program and into that locker room, I couldn't ask for anything more. And, he's been great in practice. Obviously he's grown since January till now, just overall understanding. It's a new offense, new scheme, a new language that he had to learn. But, just the work that he poured in, the respect that he's garnered from his teammates just by the way that he showed up. And, it's one thing, it's pretty easy when you watch out there and you see his arm talent and you see his size and you see the ability. But, just the consistency of how he's approached, each and every day, the consistency of execution throughout plays. I'm so looking forward to him, taking the field on Saturday. And, like I've told him, he just needs to go out there and be himself. And, he's put himself in a wonderful position, and we're definitely grateful to have him.
48 games in his collegiate career. He's made 40 starts, 30-10 as a starter, and essentially on every watch list here in the preseason, Coach. Maxwell, Walter Camp, Davey O'Brien, Johnny Unitas, Gordon Arm Award. I know none of that means anything, but this is a guy that is experienced. He's a veteran out there, and I know as you pushed him, he's got even a higher ceiling he hasn't even grazed yet that I know you're looking forward to pushing him to.
No, absolutely. And I think from when he got here in January to where he is today, going into game week, he's taken some incredible strides by the work that he's put in. And, he's got the talent and ability, but it's developing that confidence and really the consistency of, whether it's reads, progressions, making sure that the rhythm and timing with new players and new receivers, tight ends, running backs. But, he's really, taken advantage of all of those experiences throughout practice, and you feel the confidence of what he's bringing to the field on a daily basis. And I think that that's starting to overflow to even or some of our skill players, obviously to the offensive line there in front of them, which is a very experienced group. But I would say probably the last week and a half, our receivers have really taken their game to a whole new level. Really been proud of that group as well. But I think DJ is a great spark for that, and he's been wonderful for Brock and for Luke and Trevor and guys in that quarterback room. Just his example, his approach, the relationships they have. I think it's just, like I said, I think it's been a home run for everybody.
DJ Uiagalelei, our truest hero of the show, of this first game, as we're talking about getting ready for Georgia Tech. When you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. So start feeling like it today. Visit Truist.com/care. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC. Well, we're just getting started here. Our very first show. Look at this place. It's jam-packed. We got a great crowd. Not surprised, obviously. Never surprised. Continually impressed. Our first show underway live from Bowdens in College Town. Just getting started with the head coach, Mike Norvell. And get free local news and weather 24/7. Just search WTXL on your favorite streaming device, and to watch local news and weather on your time, our friends at ABC 27, they will provide the re-air of our show in Tallahassee Wednesday night at 7 p.m. More to come live from Bowdens in College Town with Florida State head coach Mike Norvell. Stay with us. We'll be back right after this. Great to be back live from Bowdens in College Town, inside Seminole football with the head football coach Mike Norvell. Florida State getting ready. You saw right there. Time now for What's on Tap, brought to you by the official craft beer of Florida State Athletics, Oyster City Brewing Company. Make sure to stock up on Legacy Lager, which is perfect for any Seminole game day party. That is right. And, of course, the Noles getting ready to head over and head to Dublin, Ireland. And we'll talk about that with Coach here coming up in a moment. But the first half of this schedule over the next month or so, and I know you're not focused in on anything outside of what we've got going on now, obviously, with Georgia Tech. But this is certainly a non-conference schedule, Coach, that is one that is challenging, is going to get your team ready to play. And you got 2 ACC games to start it off right out of the gate. So you have challenges right out of the start, getting it rolling.
No, yeah, there's no waiting to go play your best. Obviously starting off with ACC matchups. I think we have 6 of our first 7 games are going to be ACC games. So we got to come out of the gates fast. I think our guys have understood the importance of that, and just the overall sense of urgency and mindset that they've brought into the work has been really good. But kicking it off in week 0, I mean, it is a great stage, and we're going to get a chance to kick it off on game day. Their first ever international show. I know I mentioned in the press conference there yesterday, we were a part of the very first game day on campus experience, and now their first international game to kick off the 2024 season. I mean, this is a stage that our players have worked for. When you come to Florida State, you want to be the show, and that's what the opportunity we have in front of us. And it's just about going out there and playing their best, and with plenty of distractions that come into traveling 8-9 hours away.
No question about that. We'll talk about the operation of getting a football program and, in a lot of ways, an athletic department, university over across the pond in Dublin, Ireland. What's on Tap, brought to you by the official craft beer of Florida State Athletics, Oyster City Brewing Company. How about Florida State women's soccer, everybody? 2-0. They've been able to come out and dominate early on. A 10-0 win of UNF yesterday, and a school record 25-game unbeaten streak right now for Brian Penske and this Florida State women's soccer program. FSU volleyball rated in the top 20 on the preseason poll here released today, and had their Garnet and Gold scrimmage this past Friday. So, as you talked about, this is a big operation and a game and a trip, 2 years in the making, essentially, overall. And you've got so many great people on your staff that maybe people don't see on game day that have really, behind the scenes, been working their tails off. Talk about everybody that has made this as seamless as possible for you.
I mean, I think you have to go into every department, because every department serves such a big role. I mean, whether it's athletic training, obviously our equipment operations. Jason Bazin and his whole staff have been remarkable. Bruce Wark, our chief of staff. Jeff Cupper in player development. I mean, every group has had to serve a huge role in the preparation for where we're going, because whether it's the nutritional aspect, I mean, we've taken many advanced trips. I think we've got a great plan, great setup. When you look at Bruce and Scott Trulock, who's our director of sports medicine, I mean, I think we have over 20 games of international games that experience. Those guys doing it at the NFL level. So I mean, we've done a ton of research. I think we got a great plan to put our guys in the best position to go out there and play. But it's still a lot of things you got to work through. Yeah. I mean, getting 120 players to get passports. I mean, that's been a long process. And so, but I mean, we just got a great staff that's really risen to the call, and I think we're in great shape as we get a chance to head out here Wednesday night.
Yep, you've been over there. You and your family were there for a site visit back in the springtime. Give folks a little bit of a vibe, the kind of the vibe you got with your time over in Dublin.
I can tell you there is a tremendous amount of excitement, there in Dublin for this game, for our fan base. I mean, that's one of the things that was talked about, the few days that I was there is, everybody's excited about the war chant. They're excited, to see the Garnet and Gold. Obviously, this is it's a big event. It's a big event for the country of Ireland, but also, specifically there in Dublin. And it's just all the people that have taken their heart and their time and then invested into making this the great kickoff game that it's going to be. I mean, we're excited about being a part of this opportunity, but there's so much work behind the scenes, like you mentioned, to make this a reality.
As a coach, I'm sure you get a lot of things that you're thinking about, and you want to keep the main thing. You want to get your guys prepared and focused on the game and ready to go. But what are some of the things that kind of go through your mind when you're just thinking about the whole project overall?
For us, it's everything leading up to the game is to help put our guys in a position to go play their best. And you try to build confidence in the plan and the process, and don't allow, whether it's a long flight, whether it's, a different schedule, all the things that we have to do, don't allow that to distract from the main focus of the game. And, that's part of, the planning that we've went into, is just to make this as seamless as possible for our players, so that they can get comfortable, they can get acclimated, and then, come, 5 o'clock there in Ireland, to, being able to kick it off and, go play this game that we love. And, it is going to be special. It's going to be, a remarkable stage to be on, and these players have worked hard to earn that opportunity.
No question. Can't wait to see them get it done and get over there and be a part of the Aer Lingus College Football Classic. A lot of people behind the scenes making it work, making it happen. You see some of the shots of the countryside on our television broadcast we show you right now. A lot of fun, obviously, to say the least. Hey, Seminole football is brought to you in part by Florida Farm Bureau Insurance. They are a proud partner of Florida State Athletics, and a big thanks to our friends at Florida Farm Bureau Insurance. And introducing the official vodka of Florida State Athletics, a new partner this season, SV Vodka, crafted for a smooth taste. SV Vodka is 100% vegan. Perfect for those who value purity in every sip. Experience the unique blend of tradition and innovation with SV Vodka, the official vodka of Florida State Athletics. More to come live from Bowdens in College Town, our first show of the season, as Mike Norvell and his Florida State football team get ready to head over to Dublin, Ireland. Stay with us. We're back after this timeout.
Dining room.
Thank you. So we're going to have a shot here on this main screen of the 99 game coming out. Having some fun live from Bowdens here in College Town. Welcome back. It's a packed house. We appreciate everybody joining us tonight for our first edition of Inside Seminole Football with Florida State head coach Mike Norvell. How about a look back at our historical matchup in this series with Georgia Tech? That's brought to you by Bowdens here in College Town as well. And many Noles fans remember that 1999 matchup with Georgia Tech early in the season in front of a sold-out crowd at Doe Campbell Stadium. It was highlighted by P-Dub, Peter Warwick right here, as you see some of the highlights of him trotting into the end zone for a touchdown. Travis Minor had a big night that night against Georgia Tech, and Joe Hamilton was a Heisman hopeful at quarterback for the Yellow Jackets, as he had a heck of a night as well. A 41-35 Florida State win. It was Bobby Bowden's 294th win all time at Florida State University. And Coach, I know you probably had a few of these games in your career. At the end of it, Coach said, quote, "I don't want to play one more second of that game," end quote, in what was a huge early season ACC tilt back in 1999.
No, absolutely. It's kind of great. In our spring showcase, we had
Yes.
Peter Warwick, and we had Travis Minor was there as our kind of our guest coaches, and both those guys were remarkable. And the time they got to spend with our players, it was great having Travis back. It's been a while since he'd been back to Tallahassee, and just seeing the passion, the love that he has for this university, and to see those guys and just in in that moment, and what was such a special season. Just a great role model and example for our guys of what it takes and to be prepared for each of those opportunities.
Some of the numbers right there. That was an early season Heisman tilt with Peter Warrick and Joe Hamilton. You see the stats on our TV broadcast. P-Dub, of course, always coming to play. And Joe Hamilton was pretty special that night. A lot of scoring in that one, 5 touchdowns. Our guys Mickey Andrews and Jim Gladden probably weren't too excited after that game. That was over with. But it was a win, and you enjoy those victories, that's for sure. All right, we talked about your offense a little bit. We're going to talk to Adam Fuller a little bit later on. Coach, this defense, I know developing depth up front has been critical from your vantage point in contending at the highest level. And even though guys like Jarrett Verse, a first-round pick, Braden Fisk, second-round pick, Fabian Lovett with the Kansas City Chiefs, we might be deeper and potentially more talented than we were a year ago up front.
You know, that's the thing that I've been really pleased with, is seeing the guys that have come in and the competition that we have on a daily basis, the depth that of guys that can go out there and be able to make an impact. Obviously, you look at that front line guys, and you got guys like Pat Payton, Josh Farmer, both been all-conference type players. Daryl Jackson, who I'm so excited to see. I mean, really has been taking his game to another level throughout this fall camp. Marvin Jones, so very talented, but this is his opportunity to kind of go put his stamp on things. Guys like Byron Turner, who played a lot for us last year, but now as a year more experienced, a year further growth and development. You look at that interior. Daniel Lyons is a guy that I think has had an exceptional fall camp. But we got Grady Kelly that's come in, Tomawa's come in, and then as you said there with Sione, who was a second-team All Pac-12 performer last year, that's coming in and is going to be a great impact for us. So you look at that depth that we have there on that defensive line. A guy like Aaron Hester, who's also really come to emerge. Yeah. But when you can talk about that many guys that I think have a chance to go out and make a positive impact, I mean, that's the depth that you want. But it's really a compliment to Coach JP and obviously Odell for what they've done there in the defensive front.
I can't wait to see him. I mean, I tell you what, I feel like, and again, you guys don't worry about this. I think Pat Payton is one of the most dynamic players off the edge in college football. I'd love to see him get more attention nationally. I know it doesn't matter, but to me, with his versatility, getting in the backfield, the pass breakups, I mean, this guy has got huge things coming.
Well, and it's all part of it. Obviously, I mean, people that have watched him play, they understand, who he is. There's no secret about him in the NFL right now, I can promise you. So, but, for him just to go out there and continue to push to get better, he's put on 10, 15 pounds of great muscle, really very explosive. I'm excited to watch him play, here. He's been doing a really a tremendous job there in practice. Another guy that I wanted to mention there on the defensive front, KJ Sampson, was a redshirt freshman last year that I think has a chance. He's really had a good fall camp as well there in that defensive interior. But when you're good on the interior, right, then obviously, as you go to the back end, I think that's another great strength for us. Guys like Azaria, Fentrell, Shaheem Brown, all have played so much. And then now you see the talent and the versatility of those guys that are in the depth in the defensive backfield. I mean, it sets up for a really exciting unit. And then, like I know I've mentioned, I mean, our linebackers, I think, have had as good of a fall camp, and just the competitiveness that have been grown there, that's grown in that group, and the versatility of it. And it's just I'm excited to see our defense, go out there and see 11 guys playing as one, and knowing that we have the guys that we can roll in. And that was one of the great strengths of our team a year ago. Yes. But I think that even the depth could be better than what it's been.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff, no doubt about it. As Inside Seminole Football brought to you by 4 Points by Sheridan. In town for a game this fall, stay at 4 Points by Sheridan, Tallahassee downtown, where parking is always complimentary, plus free shuttle service to the airport and Doak Campbell Stadium. Make your hotel reservations at 4 Points by Sheridan, Tallahassee downtown today. We'll take a timeout. One more segment with Mike Norvell. Darius Washington's in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Adam Fuller will be here later. Just getting rolling. Stay with us. More to come here on Inside Seminole Football.
Your
Back again, one more segment here on Monday night with Florida State head man Mike Norvell. The Noles have won 19 of their last 20 games, defending ACC champions, 23-4 over the last 2 seasons, and picked again to win the ACC here in 2024 early on in the preseason. As Inside Seminole Football brought to you by Truist. When you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. So start feeling like it today. Visit Truist.com/care. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC. You know, I know it's about us, right? It's not about the opponent. It's about our focus going out. But I always love hearing your thoughts on the opponent. I know you have a lot of respect for what Brent Key and this Georgia Tech team bring back in 2024. They finished that season last year really, really strong.
No, absolutely, and I think Coach Key has done a wonderful job, there with the program. And I mean, you look at how they finished. It's definitely impressive. And they're one of the most experienced and most returning starters. Coming back. They're in the ACC. Offensively, it was one of the top offenses in the league. I think that you look at their quarterback Haynes King. I mean, he's definitely a challenge, and everything runs through him. But they got speedy receivers, guys that can separate. Haynes, the running back, is definitely a dynamic player. Average over 6 yards per carry, over 1,000-yard back. So I mean, it's going to present plenty of challenges in just what they do and how they do it. I think they're very well coached. Defensively, they have a new defensive coordinator that came from Duke last year, which I mean was one of the better defenses there in the country. I mean, with a great scheme that and then a lot of transfers that have come in and be able to support and complement those guys that they have up front, and then obviously they're in the back end as well. So it's going to be a great challenge for us. I think this is going to be one of the more explosive teams that we play, and it's going to take us going out there and making sure we're playing with details but discipline, and then give everything that we have for 60 minutes.
Yep, 28th meeting all time between Florida State and Georgia Tech, 15-11 and 1 tie. The Noles lead the series, although 7 of the Georgia Tech wins came in the first 8 meetings between 1952 and 1975, all in Atlanta, by the way. Before we say goodbye to Coach Norvell in the first part of this show, how about our Scott & Wallace Keys to Success, presented by Scott & Wallace, the official law firm of Florida State Athletics. Scott & Wallace with offices in Tallahassee. We talked about a few of them there. When you're facing a dual-threat guy like Haynes King, you've seen these guys a lot, obviously. It's nothing new. But this is a guy that can do it with his arm and with his legs. How does it challenge the discipline of your group front to back overall?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely going to present plenty of challenges. But, when you look at the keys to this game, I mean, your first game, I mean, is who's going to be able to play and execute discipline. And that is owning the football. That's making sure that you limit the penalties, the focus penalties, the different things like that, making sure you're on point with your communication. Obviously, the game in the trenches is going to be big. Special teams, first game of the season, that's one of the areas that, usually is magnified there, with how are you going to be able to execute and operate their special teams wise, which I mean, I think is something that I'm excited about with Alex Mastromano, obviously with Ryan Fitzgerald, with our returners and coverage units. I mean, that's got to show up big for us. And then, obviously the explosive play. We want to limit the explosives offensively and defensively, and then we got to find a way to create the explosives, whether it's on the ground or in the air. So, it's a big challenge ahead, but, like I said, I'm so proud of what these guys have done since January to put ourselves in this position to go kick it off here this week.
Well, you mentioned Alex Mastromano. He and Ryan Fitzgerald, 2 fifth-year senior specialists. And today, Alex was named a preseason first-team AP All-American. That was announced earlier this afternoon. Nobody better. You got 2 great kickers as well that you're going to lean on here this season. Before we say goodbye, is there a movie you got dialed up? You got a long flight over there. Are you just all in on film for 8 hours, Coach?
I haven't even thought about a movie. Let me tell you, I'll be watching film, and hopefully I'll actually sleep a little bit on the plane. I mean, it's timed up. I think we leave around 9 o'clock there Wednesday night, and we'll be getting there around 9 or 10 in the morning. Their Dublin time, so we'll hit it running. So be praying for some sleep.
Amen. I'm with you there. Coach, always great seeing you. Thanks for the time. We can't wait to see your team in Dublin.
Well, and I appreciate everybody coming out tonight. Definitely looking forward to the season ahead. And go Noles.
Stay with us. Coming up, Darius Washington, All-American offensive lineman on the other side. Don't go anywhere. Back with more after this. All right, we're back. Bowden's in College Town. First edition of Inside Seminole Football. It's great to be here with you. My name is Jeff Culhane. Big thanks to Mike Norvell for joining us here during a busy time as his team prepares and gets ready for the Aer Lingus College Football Classic in Dublin, Ireland. And Inside Seminole Football brought to you by Carver's Discount Cleaners. They are mean on stains and green on earth. Try new Eco Green Dry Cleaning at Carver's Discount Cleaners, 1215 North Monroe Street in Midtown. I actually went there today to pick up this jacket and this collared shirt. And hey, I also want to make mention quick, before I introduce Darius Washington, I wanted to make a point to mention this. Lori Gilbert wanted to say hello to you. She's here with us every night. And her mother, Gwen, is also normally here with us every show as well. Gwen is battling cancer right now and couldn't be here with us tonight, but I know she's listening, she's watching, and we just give a round of applause to Gwen Gilbert, as she is a huge Noel, and wanted to make sure we did that. So, Lori, let Gwen know we love her and we appreciate her very, very much. All right, another big round of applause. Sorry to wear you out. Let's give it up for Darius Washington, everybody. All-American, All-ACC, Outland and Lombardi Award watch list, 60-year senior, and you're going to be able to really, he said, geez, it's a lot of football right there overall. But hey, we love the fact that you're here with us tonight, and we love the fact that you're wearing the garnet and gold here again this year. How excited are you about getting this thing started here this weekend? What's the feelings like?
Oh, it's just a lot of emotions, a lot of jitters going on, because, you know, it's just new season and just ready to see what this new team has to offer, because, you know, we worked so hard from January to now, and we really just want to show everybody that we are the team to beat.
Well, you mentioned it. This is an experienced offensive line. You're not the only guy that's played a lot of football, right? This is an offensive line that's played 345 career games collectively. That's the most of any offensive line entering 2024 in college football. And 210 starts, the second most of any offensive line. With all that being said, when you have that amount of experience playing together and guys back, what's that do for confidence and just rhythm up front overall?
Really, it just helps us know that we have a lot of people on the line that really we can throw into games and that can dissect plays and just be able to figure out different situations that we get put in and just help us win games. Because playing offensive line, you have to be really smart and just be able to help the team more than you help yourself. So that's just one of the big factors, just having all that experience, knowing that we have a lot of unselfish guys.
Darius, there's a lot of, you put on some excellent offensive lines the last few years. This one is, I think it might be the most talented, and I think for sure it's the deepest group overall, right?
I think so.
So when you have that depth, for a guy like you who's had to play literally every position on the offensive line, does it allow you just to focus on one thing, knowing that you got guys that can back up Maurice at center now and do the job very, very well?
I mean, it gives you comfortability at one spot, but you always want to be able to work multiple positions, because at the end of the day, whatever, like, it's a long season, so you never know what's going to happen or if anything just happens. So I just want to make sure I'm ready to, from left side to right side, from center to just anything. Like, you can even play anything, I'll go out there and do it.
I know you will. We've seen you do it during your career. You'll be making your 38th career start in Dublin here this upcoming weekend as Florida State gets ready for Georgia Tech. When you it all starts in the trenches, obviously. Do you guys feel like early in the season, and really all season long, but specifically early, you can kind of set the tone with your strength, with your physicality, to kind of lead this offensive group and get this offense in rhythm overall?
Yeah, I'll say we are. That's the main focus going into every week, and each week just set the tone, just let people know that the O-line is going to be one of the most dominant positions on the team, and just also just from working through camp and stuff with, like, just going against our defensive line too. Like, we got a very dominant defensive line, so just on both sides of the ball, we're able to just establish that front, and once we establish that front, that helps us in the back end.
How does that group, you mentioned both sides of the ball, very talented and a lot of depth. How do you guys challenge each other every day?
Oh, every day we try to go after each other's necks at practice. Like, I don't think nothing would be much harder than going to practice every day, having to block Pat Payton, Marv, Josh, Daryl. Like, you just saw Daryl's like one of the freakiest athletes in the country. So it's like, we just have a lot of depth on both sides of the ball, both sides on the line. So we just really want to challenge each other every day, because at practice we want to make practice harder than the games, and it's definitely hard.
Well, I tell you what, we are excited to watch you do it again here on the offensive line and watch this entire unit overall. It's always a pleasure seeing you. Thanks so much for your time. There you go. Please give it up for Darius Washington, Pensacola native, All-American candidate, All-ACC offensive lineman here with us live at Bowden's in College Town. We'll take a timeout. Coming up, we'll talk a little defense with defensive coordinator Adam Fuller when we return. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere. More to come here on the show.
I'm good.
We're back. We're getting the equipment ready to go here in front of our great crowd. Week 1, baby. Week 1 here inside of Bowden's in College Town. My name is Jeff Culhane, here with defensive coordinator Adam Fuller. Please give it up for Adam Fuller, ladies and gentlemen, here with us here tonight. Talking a little Florida State defense. And before we talk with Coach Fuller, Inside Seminole Football brought to you by Grassroots Coffee. Florida State Athletics would like to thank Grassroots Coffee for their support of Florida State football. Grassroots Coffee, also the official coffee of the Battle's End. And every time you drink Battle's End Blend, you support FSU athletes. Order Battle's End Blend today at grassrootscoffee.com. Great to see you as always. Appreciate your time during a busy week and a shortened week in a lot of ways coming out. How ready are you to watch your guys go out and play here this weekend? Excited?
Yeah, I'm ready. Looking forward to actually the next couple of days, finishing up the prep, tying things together, and obviously the travel out there, and I'm ready for it all. Looking forward to it.
What do you feel like has been, I don't know if identity is the right word, but as this team, your unit specifically, these guys have been able to come together and fill the roles. How has this 2024 version of FSU defensively kind of match the identity you've been looking for it to build here so far in fall camp?
Well, it's been a build since January, and so I think our biggest identity is just our consistency to do what's needed day in and day out, which is a hard thing to achieve. Now it's about just bringing that to game day and finding the consistencies that it takes to go operate your highest level when it counts. But they've done a really good job here the last several months.
We were talking with Coach, obviously, and with Darius about your front seven. I mean, Jared Verse, Braden Fisk, our first and second round picks. Fabian Lovett's an NFL guy, obviously. And Coach, I feel like you might be deeper and maybe more talented. And that's maybe a stretch, I don't know, but you've got 9-10 guys again up front with that front four specifically that you can rotate in, and I would think feel pretty darn good about.
Yeah, I think we really need to hone in on just making sure that they play at the most effective level they can as a group. I do think, there's a good chance we could play 5 to 6 defensive tackles and definitely 4 defensive ends. With the possible of a 5th. It's all fun and good to say those numbers, but then you got to go out and execute and play at a high level. And I didn't say those numbers without thinking they can't. And so that's the plan, because I know to play really good in the fourth quarter and play really good throughout the season, you need those numbers to play at a high level.
Daryl Jackson was a guy that we thought we were going to have a chance to see a year ago. Obviously, the NCAA had other thoughts. He got to play a little bit in the Orange Bowl. But you see this young man move around out there, and this guy is obviously a physical specimen overall. Where has Daryl made the most strides of what you've asked him to do here over the last 7 or 8 months or so, getting ready for this first game?
Well, I'm really proud of him from a standpoint of last year. He basically had it taken away from him. And he reacted in as a mature way that you could ask of a young man by going back to work. And, he's got all the ability, size, and movements. We just needed him to connect the technique to his ability to maximize playmaking. And I'm starting to see that more and more day in and day out. Odell's done a really good job with him. and he wants it in the worst way.
Yeah.
And this will be a very important season for him, for us, and I'm really excited for him to go show the country what he's really done over the last year in his work.
How's your linebacker room continued to evolve here over the last month or so?
Yeah, I think additions and improvement, I think, is what I would say. So, I think DJ Lundy's taken a step. He had really good leaders in that room last year to learn from. I think you've seen the development with Omar, you've seen it with Blake, you've seen it with Juice, and then you bring in Cam Riley. And, to add to a room a guy with good experience, but with the playmaking ability, it gives you some good pieces in that room. Some good young pieces, and then some guys with a little bit of experience.
Looking forward to watching Cam play. I mean, versatile, right? He can get to the quarterback and also run with some guys in space in pass defense to a certain degree as well.
Yeah, I mean, there'll be times, we used Kalen there last year. Cam's got that ability. So does Blake. So does DJ. So it'll be kind of a mixture of how we use Cam, but, he's shown that he can do a lot of good things for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Florida State defensive coordinator Adam Fuller here with us live inside Seminole football from Bowden's in College Town. We'll take one more time out, come back with more, and coach on the defensive side and get ready for Georgia Tech. Stay tuned. More on the way. All right, away we go. One final segment here live from Bowden's in College Town. Great to be with everybody. Packed house, great crowd. We appreciate everybody coming out and joining us on our maiden voyage, if you will, of Inside Seminole Football from Bowden's in College Town. Our next show, by the way, will be on September the 9th. So mark it down, the Monday of Memphis week back here at Bowden's in College Town. And Bowden's a proud partner of Florida State Athletics, and of course, the host site of Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell every Monday night during football season live here in College Town from 7 to 8 p.m. Again, the next show is Monday, September the 9th, the week of the Memphis game. All right, you talk about your front seven, Adam Fuller. Your secondary, man, again, Jarian Jones, Renardo Green, NFL, King Dent, amazing career, and yet a lot of people feel like, me, myself included, your secondary, it might be the strongest position group overall on this football team. What are you most proud of with the way you've kind of assembled that group with returners, portal, and obviously you've recruited high school talent at a high level in the back end?
When you talk about recruiting and you start about evaluating, when you're able to bring in players, and I don't want to make this seem, but when you don't make any mistakes, you create really strong depth with that group. And, I think we've had it, and you've really seen the development of Azare Thomas, Shaheem Brown, Kevin Knowles, and then you got that next crew of, with Earl Little, Devontae Brown, Conrad Hussey, Quindarius Jones, Jabril Rawls, that whole group, and you start putting that group together, and I think it's a really, really strong group that can be ultra competitive, and a group that needs to be all play together really, really well.
And Shaheem Brown is a guy that I love watching him play. He certainly enjoys communicating with everybody out there on the field, his own teammates and others as well. But this, I know, is one of the leaders, if not the leader of your back end right now.
Yeah, I think I've seen him grow, from when he came to us from Lake City, and just watching his playmaking get better and his confidence get better. And what I love is seeing him and Azarie get so much better from year 1 to 2 to 3. And it's just mounting of some success. So, we're going to lean on those guys. It's going to be really important for them to play at a high level. And they're definitely putting the work in, and I love their chemistry together.
Time now for our Garnet and Gold Gear of the Week, ladies and gentlemen. Time for our Gear of the Week, presented by Garnet and Gold. You see it right here on the TV broadcast. Look at this. This week's item, a black Cutter and Buck men's polo with the Arrowhead logo and tile print. I'm not going to model that. I don't think that's my size. I need a couple sizes larger. That's a pretty nice looking polo from our friends at Garnet and Gold. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years. Visit one of the 3 locations here in Tallahassee and pick up your new game day gear at Garnet and Gold. We got about a couple minutes left, Coach. Appreciate your time very, very much during a busy week. Georgia Tech. I talk about Georgia Tech. I mentioned them. What comes to mind right away with their offense and the challenge you have Saturday afternoon?
Veteran, committed to the run game. has created some explosive plays. I mean, just statistics or things that you kind of go through, but, they led the ACC in rushing last year. Their quarterback led the ACC in touchdown passes. So those are great things for them. I think they really started to come on from the middle of the year till the end. They're playing with a lot of confidence, veteran offensive line, and, so they've had their success, and that's why you strap them up and go out there and you play, and we're looking forward to the competition that they'll bring out there on Saturday in Dublin.
Speed on the outside, right? A wide receiver. I mean, that's a great fun matchup back and forth there with both those units.
Yeah, I mean, they do. They've got an ACC competitor, a 10-300 kid in Singleton that had a good freshman year, and they've got to cover all their veteran guys at wideout to really complement what they've done running the football. And they've committed to running the ball. You can tell they got an O-line coach for a head coach, and they've done a really good job of creating some space. It's our job to go take it away, I promise you that.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Coach, your defense has been amazing to watch, and we can't wait to watch them again, getting over to Dublin, Ireland here this weekend. It's always a pleasure seeing you. Thanks for your time, as always.
Thank you, Jeff, and thank you to the best fans of the country, baby.
There you go. Adam Fuller, ladies and gentlemen, Florida State defensive coordinator, one of the top defensive minds in all of college football. Period. All right, that's going to do it for us. We got it done. First show's in the books. Big thanks to everybody here at Bowden's in College Town. Thanks to our SEMPRO crew, our Audio One crew. We'll talk to you again on September 9th.